So y'all still think it's play? Thought drop was crazy, huh? Until you just look up and open your eyes and have a perspective of 360 degrees. I mean, you didn't even know there was such a perspective, you know, when you hear about this all-seeing. This all-sight stuff comes from your natural nature to see clearly. Now they have their all-seeing eye hijacked. You see through the perspective of a dragonfly 360 degrees, man. Aha, up to the tribe. Come on. You think it's play? Beach is covered in giant dragon eggs. Does this look like a spherical rock? It's just a spherical rock with a hole inside. Something came out of this. Something came out of this. We're going to actually get some real cold drop, man. I'm actually kind of disguising this one inside. I don't even want to put this title up like that because I don't even want, you know what I mean? This is like, I'm just dropping this for the wave surfers, man. You know, this Antarctic drop. But hold up, man. Because you think it's play. We just read it last time. We'll read it again. The Iroquois, 1808, 1809, the Iroquois hatched 32 dragons in New York alone. In New York alone. That means they hatched dragons other places. That means dragons were hatching all over the place, right? Dragons were hatching all over the place, right? Give me the drop, man. Let go. Beach is covered in giant dragon eggs. In 1808 to 1809, the Iroquois hatched 32 dragons in New York alone. The Chumash Native Americans in California were also known to have dragons, DraKhans, capable of flying across the Rocky Mountains. Jacob Kukwa. Jacob Kukwa was an American trader. He traded, you know, goods. He wasn't a traitor, he was a trader from New York who was present at Larakia to purchase goods. He was of Ame'rican heritage, copper color races found here, and said his brother had a dragon similar to Kulingil. Kulingil is a what? A dragon with golden scales. Initially mottled brown and gray, covered in spikes with huge curved claws, later began to develop golden scales and spikes hardened into horns, rounder, less serpentine than typical dragons, roly-poly. Kujalil was born out of a too small egg. As a result, he came out small without his air sacs. I mean, you think this is just some made-up shit? So this Jacob had a dragon just like that with golden scales, and he planned to take it, the goods he brought to California, but he asked the Chumash tribe, the entire tribe of Chumash, to fly it across the Rockies rather than sail the dangerous Cape Horn route. Alright, so we know when we're talking dragons in America, the British Air Corps, Aerial Corps, anything aerial is your dragons. They didn't have planes until with the Wright brothers, Orville Wright, 1909 or something like that. So we're talking the Revolutionary War, man, 18th century. So when you hear Aerial Corps, the British sent dragons against the rebels during the America's Revolutionary War. These were the so-called white folk trying to break away from the black European power. And those Nagas over there sent dragons on these so-called white people. And they said, well, how did these white people counter Black King George's dragons? It is not known how the revolutionaries countered Black King George's dragons. It can only be assumed that they got their aerial support from other nations. Treaties. Y'all gave them your dragons, man. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Shame on you, man. You gave these people your dragons. It can be assumed these white folk got their aerial support from other tribes, man. In 1808 to 1809, the Iroquois hatched 32 dragons in New York alone. Americans were breeding dragons at a frantic pace. Do you think it's play? Damn. Let's go. Beach is covered in giant dragon eggs. Do you think it's play? This is a giant dragon egg chilling on the beach. Free Phineus. Alright, man. Alright, man, let's go, man. What's the name of the series again? What we supposed to be talking about? Oh, yeah, Phineus, right? So how relative is this to your reality? They think it's play, man. They're playing inside of dragon eggs, man. These people crazy, right? These people crazy. Look at this, man. Do you think this is just a rock? What rocks are just rocks? Every rock is a part of either a tree or some type of organic matter or energy. Earth is alive. And where's her heart? Sometimes you gotta go within. Sometimes you gotta go within. If you want to hear the heartbeat. Now they want to go within your dragon egg. And they're not fucking with you. They're not fucking with you. They're not fucking with you. You don't see it, LOL. Drop ain't crazy. These people been digging on this shit. We gotta read 2 Baruch 73 again. And dragons will do what? Submit themselves to a little child. These creatures will do what? Minister unto man. Who are your angels? What are the seraphim? What's the old legend of these winged creatures flying around? They're calling angels, right? Coming from the ether. Fire, water, ether, and land. And you know they're beach bound. Remember we saw the actual exploration map. I don't know if I have that up right now. I gotta pull it up again. That our wonderful sister Larissa. To sister Larissa. And man, we dug on the what's that, the Dracopedia drop? The sister Larissa dropped the field guide, a whole field guide how to find these dragons. That's when we got on the Phineus. That's when we said free Phineus. And there's a lot more to get in this drop. You know what I mean? You can get in the library, or at least click book drop. I haven't put it up in the library yet, but I will, man. I will. I mean, are they playing with you? About the author, William O'Connor is an illustrator, concept artist, fine artist and teacher. Fine artist and teacher. He has executed more than 3,000 illustrations for companies such as Wizards of the Coast, Blizzard Entertainment, Lucasfilms. All right, so he ain't messing with you, man. He has won over 30 awards for his artwork and received 4 Chelsea nominations. All right, so this cat's coming, man, and tell you, man. All right, he's trying to tell you this ain't no play. When you do all this Dracopedia, an artist field guide and drawing journal, and he's literally going showing you the field guide of every single dragon in existence. Look at the sketches. A warning for dragon enthusiasts. Dragons are not pets. The expeditions and adventures described in this book have been performed under the guidance of trained observers, experts, and draconologists. I didn't know they were draconologists. Sign me up. This is not play. This is a warning. We got the Phineus drop, man. I just want to get that map right quick. Man, free Phineus all day. We're doing this for the big homie Phineus, so we want to get this drop of you know, who can very well be Phineus, this last great dragon. I think it's at least my #1 suspect that we're talking about, who we're calling Phineus, who's being held where? Phineus. Council and I made a stop to see the country's most famous dragon in captivity. Phineus in Fort Tryon Park Zoo in Upper Manhattan is the home to Phineus, a 140-year-old Acadian green dragon that has lived in New York for over a century. In 1808 to 1809, the Iroquois hatched 32 dragons in New York City alone. That has lived in New York for over a century. Man, where's that map? Hey man, we just talking cloud forest, right? Remember the Quetzal, the bird or the dragon from the cloud forest. Cloud forest. Here's that map. I want it right here. So you see all this coastlines is what? The nesting grounds. The nesting ground. After our visit, Conseil and I departed. First he says, today. So in 1978, a new dragon enclosure was built for Phineus. In 1978, a new enclosure, a new prison was built for who they're calling Phineus. And his health and attendance at the park dramatically improved. Today, Phineus is the only great dragon alive in captivity. In America. After our visit, Conseil and I departed New York for our first destination on our journey on the world's great dragons. In Bar Harbor, Maine. This is the home for the Acadian National Dragon Preserve. Let's get it bigger. This is the home for the National Dragon Preserve, the Acadian National Dragon Preserve. And you did this with me. We went to Google and said, well, what's the Acadian National Dragon Preserve? Acadian, yeah, see it right here. I mean, we did it before. What comes up? Acadia National Park Service. So they changed it. All right. Now it's just called the Acadia National Park Service, and it's just Don't look here. Nothing's going on here. So you see they hide. It's no longer called the Acadia National Dragon Preserve, right? I mean, shit, they had a stamp and everything. Look at the stamp on April 13th. Acadia National Dragon Preserve. Acadia National Dragon Preserve. Again, Acadia National Park. So all these federal parks are most likely dragon preserves. I'm just saying, we're just surfing the wave. Remember, Phineus is no longer. Remember, he's the poster child of the World Dragon Fund, right? The Frank Templeton Dragon Fund, now it's called. In 1972, the newly formed World Dragon Fund used Phineus as their poster dragon to raise funds for the protection of dragons or captivity of dragons. 1972, the World Dragon Fund. Sister Larissa broke this down. She dropped the documents. We dropped it on the last part. Go get that. The Frank Templeton Dragon Fund, currently being traded on the New York Stock Exchange as TDF. And they're using Phineus. But now when you go look at Phineus, Tryon Park Zoo, look who's the new face of Phineus. Who's the hijacked Phineus? Where's the hijack, Phineus? Hey, the hijack's never late. Because the indigenous drop is always on time. We're just talking this spooky little place, man, called what? Tryon Park. Fort Tryon Park, man. It's a fort. It's a fortification. It's a captivity. This is one cover-up for one big-ass dragon preserve. A new enclosure was built when? Hey, we're just surfing the wave. We're just going off a theory, a hypothesis we're putting together. Don't jam us up for having a theory and thinking outside of the mind of a hijack. Phineus, who had been living in a small, cramped concrete pit for 70 years, were in bad repair. So when we read this story that Chef Candy dropped on us, man, it sounds like this is a time period when Phineus was in bad repair. He was talking about he's dying, you know. And then in 1972, the newly formed Dragon Fund used Phineus as their poster dragon. 1978, a new dragon enclosure was built. Free Phineus, man. Who's the new face of Phineus? A rhino. Who's the new face of Phineus? Come to the zoo and see Phineus. I can't make this shit up. So instead of being the dragon, they put a different type of dinosaur, dragon-like situation, and they put a rhino. Come to the zoo and see hijack Phineus. Say hello to Phineus. Oh, what? Oh, Phineus, it's just a rhino. It's just a rhino. Nothing going on here. In 1972, the newly formed World Dragon Fund used Phineus as their poster dragon to raise funds for the protection of this enclosure all across this beach, all across Maine. Maine is Mananan. Mananan is Dananan. So Dan was rocking here with Dan's Dragons. You got Massachusetts, you know what I mean? All this down to New York where Fort Tryon is down here. All of the red is the nesting ground. Wow. A large sketch of the coastal land protected for the Acadian dragon to use as its nesting ground. Acadian National Dragon Preserve, now just called the Acadian National Park, right? Federal Reserve Preserve. A large stretch of coastal land protected for the Acadian dragon to use as its nesting ground. Nesting ground. This is a big nesting ground. What are we talking about, boss? What are we saying, boss? Is this play, boss? Oh, the eggs are actually 60. What they say? Dodge the hijack is never late because the indigenous drop is always on time, man. The hijack's never late because the indigenous truth is on time. 60 million year old carbon dating cannot even take you past 10,000 years. You can't use carbon. The shit don't even, your shit can't even be active that fucking long. And now you want to say it's 60 million. You want to just tell the people, oh, don't worry, it's 60 million years old. Trust me, carbon dating, we got that. Rocks don't date like that. Carbon don't rock like that. Carbon 14 and all that BS, man. They don't date back that far. We know that now. So 60 million years, you know it's a hijack. These eggs are boulders. Really? From where? This mountain? Spherical boulders? Dot the hijack. Boulders, huh? Mystical, mythical. It's one of the Earth's best natural playgrounds. Is it play? Look at all these eggs. Some have hatched, some have not. Remember, they'll wait forever for their rider. They'll wait forever for you, my naga. Is it play? This is just a cool little drop to show you some perspective. Actually, let's check out this bowling ball beach right quick. And then I want to drop this other drop, man. Yeah, man, let's just rock, man. Let's go. The coastlands. Sea fish. Leviathan. So at some point you gotta ask yourself, is it play? Huh? Boulders? Huh? Boulders? So, man, you know, one drop at a time, man. One drop at a time for the familiar is all happening, man. I mean, we're just talking about the Aki people of Tamanigayi, Bushman. The Aki are Amaya people in Guatemala, all right, man. Hold that drop, hold that drop. We're just talking dragons in Yellowstone, man. And dragon's layers in Yellowstone, dragon's mouth, or the black dragon Cadron. Love to Chef Candy for dropping this. With its turbulent thermal features, rock formation, sulfuric gases, volcanic events, and seismic activities, no wonder why some early visitors to the park fancied Yellowstone full of fire, brimstone, and bizarre creatures. Yellowstone is in many ways the ideal environment for dragons. Yellowstone is the ideal environment for dragons. So we got Atlantis raising up dragons. All right. Particularly in thermal areas, Yellowstone has a kind of dangerous beauty. And for many visitors, the thermal features appear to be something out of a fantasy story. Dragons do exist here in Yellowstone. Then they say, well, you know, in spirit, that is, you know, I mean, it's just volcanic stuff, you know, don't worry about it. Dragons do exist here in Yellowstone. And then they literally give you a picture of a what? A dragon's lair. You see the smoke billowing out this cave here. What do you think is inside? What do you think is inside? Y'all still think this play? Still thinking it's a play? Alright, man. Let me go back. I mean, so you see the bowling ball drop. This is a really interesting perspective of the salt flats. You know, for you to get an orientation, a perspective, an orientation, a perspective. Let's go. Where's your ball? Now you see the hexagonal, natural hexagonal floor here, right? So Just like those giant trees have that hexagonal shape. Everything's a hexagon. So all this is organic. All this she's dancing on is living. Let's go. Wow. So, you know, you can get some orientation from that. Look for your ball. If everything you see is flat, remember the Most High gave you senses for a reason. He didn't create a creation to not know if it's spinning or not be able to perceive their orientation. All right. Every animal is able to perceive its orientation. All right. You can perceive your orientation for sure. And if it doesn't feel like you're spinning on a ball at 1,100 miles per hour nonstop with a mythical, magical theory called gravity, that's a theory, not a law. You got to believe in it. That's the God of their science. Then you need to trust your senses again. You need to trust your orientation. Trust your orientation, man. Those flutes sure did sound pretty good, man. I think we need to get in that library and get going. I mean, that was just the intro. You know how we do. A hive to the tribe. Support the J Stu Baby Fund. Let's go. Get in that library. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the drop. Show us some aha. Thai Battle got the drop. No hijacks allowed. Hope y'all can tune in tonight, man. We back at it for TDR Live, the Drop Radio Live. You know what I mean? So come vibe with us, man. Enjoy the chat room. We hijack free. Don't get dropped off. You know what I mean? Just come enjoy the wave, enjoy the flow, and give that a hop, man. Give that a hop, man. Get back in the library. Yeah, we're live from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. You know what I mean? So it's 5 hours, Monday through Friday. Coming right out of here, man. Directly in your ear bone. You click this link, you live with us, man. What we got going? Oh, man, we got some country music playing. I told you, we know genre, man. We play country music, blues, jazz, so you gonna get a good variety, you know what I'm saying? A good expanding. And country music actually has a lot of drop in it sometimes, man. And they tell some good stories, man. So I'm trying to expand, man. I got some country fans. You know what I'm saying? Fans, fanatics of country music out there somewhere that need to hear that in 432. So we just try to draw them all here. If you want to hear something specific, remember, you go to the Vibe Suites. You can go to the Soul Music, Joyride, the Kids Vibe. This is great for the little ones that want to jump around and have fun. Indigenous Flute Suites, man. I mean, OG Rap Basement. Matter of fact, let's get in that Indigenous Flute Suite, man. Show y'all they ain't play. You know, go ahead and vibe to this flute. So you want that hip hop basement, man. You want, you know, whatever you want, man. We got it right here. Show that a hop, man. Vibe out. We about to get back in the story, man. I'll have to Chef Candy for dropping it on us. Just vibe out, man. Vibe out. We just talking Cloud Force. Kitsu. Cloud Forest. They call Barbados or Barnanos now, you know, or used to be Barnanos or Bananos. Then it became Barbados, the surfing the wave. Cloud Forest. All right, it's about to get good. Definitely get part one, because we're going to keep going in this story and we ain't backing up. We got a lot to go. So, you know what I mean? Get part one to, you know, just for yourself, because you're going to want all this. You're going to want all this. You're going to want all this. All right, where was we at, man? Right, here we go. So, it might be Phineus. It might be another great dragon. It's all good. You know, we're just talking the Arcadian dragon. We're talking the great dragon, and with us, man, we can comprehend what's happening with this captivity situation. We can comprehend what's going on with this Tryon Park, and we know our big homie Phineus has been on lockdown. He's a noble vibration. Phineus is a noble vibration. That's why they got him in captivity. Because he is born to be a hijacked slayer, Free Phineus. So this work must have been taking Carvel years to complete, Jenny remarked, and with the stress he faced, it's a miracle he completed it at all. And here's the first translated code. We're talking the codes of what? Koba, Pai'atay. Koba, Pai'atay. So he's saying Phineus ain't his name, remember. The last dragon was donated to the New York Zoo, Fort Tryon. 1891, upon Barnum's death, and named Phineus in honor of his benefactor. So he was named after his slave owner. So let's check it. He says, they now call me Koba Pai'atay, which means sky being in the language of these people. So he ain't even rocking with his name. He's like, my real name has never been spoken before, and I will not utter it now. I am the last of my kind. I am a dragon from the line of Dodi's dragons, the flyers of Moreno's mountains in the high country of Pai'atay. And this is both a glorious beginning, but also a painful, inevitable end, because sadly I am dying. Phineus, who had lived in a small, cramped concrete pit for over 70 years, were all in bad repair. That's when they did this dragon fund to do this new enclosure. That's what the whole Templeton Dragon Fund is to keep this great dragon enclosed. 1978, a new dragon enclosure was built for Phineus. Not the hijack Phineus. They didn't do this for the hijack Phineus. Templeton Dragon Fund. They didn't do that for hijack Phineus. Let's go. The flyers of the Barrenos Mountains. Remember when we looked up Barrenos? I don't want the cities of gold, man. Not now, man. Not now, man. It's too good, man. Not now, man. I don't want to get sidetracked. Try to get hijacked by the cities of gold. That's tempting, though, huh? Just jump into some aquacore, man. It's tempting, man. I just want to stay on point. Barrenos. When we look up Barrenos, we get Barbados. Remember, Horace Butler has the 2-letter rule since they switch the continents, so they take out the B, Barrenos, Barbados, or they add the B, whatever one's the first, and they take out the D or add the D. So take out the B or add the B and the D. All right, now you got Barbados. Here we go. You get into the Barbados situation. All right, that's Barrenos. See, Barrenos don't give you no drive. You click on Barbados. You start getting the drive. It starts to connect to these cloud forests that we connected with the Kitzel drive. Sky being cloud forest. Sky being cloud forest. Let's go. My real name is Koba, or they call me Koba. My real name has never been spoken before, and I would not utter it now. I am a dragon from the line of Duldes dragons, the flyers of Barrenos or Barbados mountains in the high country of Pai'atay. And this is both a glorious beginning, but also a painful, inevitable end, because sadly I'm dying. Is that when they started the Templeton Dragon Fund? Let's go. To be clear, I am not just any dragon. Talk on him. Talk on him, man. Come on, Koba. So-called. I am the last of my kind. I am the last of my kind. Phineus today is the only great dragon alive in America. I am the last of my kind. I have been transformed. I am now a symbol of truth, a vassal of origin and earth history. I am a conduit to the past and to the future. I was sent into exile nearly 6,000 years ago. We're here to live in the unnamed lands until my death. The emperor dragons in the council of Drakes foresaw the rise of the powerful group of humans called the Black Robes. Who wears the black robes today, people? Who wears all black? Them that say they are you, but are not. And in order to protect the sanctity and future of Earth's creatures, they instructed me to perform Seram Mortem. We looked that up. It means, you know what I mean, that you don't have a confession of guilt, you know what I'm saying, that you lived a blameless life, and that's being, through some, way or energy or practice, stored into their bones, stored into their DNA, so that when you find their bones, all of this energy, these codes, this law is being stored into their bones. Very similar to how Moses, you know what I'm saying, how it says he died on the side of Mount Nebo, and how his countenance, you know what I'm saying, remains. So seems like a very similar situation with Moses, this Seram Mortim. In my bones and in my very essence, I am now preserving this story. Why was it always important for us to carry our ancestors' bones? To carry them, you know what I mean? To preserve the story. It is an entire chronicle of the earth and the rise of humans, and also the extinction of the dragons. Dragons, Connor scoffed. So, you know, it's written in a kind of tongue-in-cheek way, you know what I mean? But even the dialogue is pretty good when you get into the story. So focus on the drop, because we're really just focusing on, I don't know where, you know what I mean? You know, you could say, oh, they're just making some story with this dragon, or they really did interview this dragon. All right, so let's surf the way. You know, I've never had a dragon interview before, so this is the closest we've ever been to an interview with Phineus. Locked up. Phineus is locked up. So this is from behind the bars. This is from behind the cell block. In this, I will explicate the rise of war and the lust for power and ensuing corruption that emerged in human beings and the unnatural cultural construct of humankind. This is a chronicle of the past events, a reckoning of human history, but also a warning of the coming changes to the earth. What is this, Connor asked? What the hell is this about dragons and shit? I was going to tell you, Jenny said. Carvel unearthed a dragon. Carvel unearthed a dragon, or at least part of one, in an archaeological site. Do you think this is make believe, or are they basing this off of reality? He documented everything. Remember that I told you about the codes, the genetic work that Carvel was doing, the DNA codes that he discovered. This is the translation. It's mathematical. But he translated it into English. So we know we're going to lose a lot of drop going from mathematical vibration into this English spell. But let's get the babies. Just continue reading, Connor said nervously as he checked the hallway. Jenny continued reading out loud while Connor kept watch. Listen up, my Nagas. I am 57,000 years old, but time is in fact relative. For a dragon, time is similar to that of Earth's time, slow and measured, gradual and constantly evolving. Dragons evolve within their own lifetime. We adapt to our surroundings, but we do not breed as other species do. Our biology is unique. Our genes are not changed by chance mutations from one generation to the next, because we do not conceive our young, but rather we welcome them into life as members of the draconic order through the commencement of Duleyon, no matter where from the earth they spawn. No matter where from the earth they spawn. No matter where from the earth they spawn, right? Dragons everywhere. So, you know, when we dig on, when y'all dig on it, man, let me know what this Duleyon is, alright? Jenny stopped reading. What is it? Connor asked. I have to get my head around this. There's no species on the planet that fits this paradigm, Connor. This contradicts all known science. What? Because they evolve? Yes and no. This suggests that dragons evolve over their lifetime as adaptation requires, but Darwin figured this out over 150 years ago. So he dodged a hijack this evolution shit. All right. Species either adapt or they fall. If they fail to breed, they don't pass their genes to the offspring. So in this, some species go extinct and others change over time. Carvel's work suggests something else entirely, a completely different type of evolution. So not the typical science, huh? Let's go. Is there anything in there that explains the black robes? Who's the black robes? Connor asked. Jenny read on, but in the back of her mind, she was dubious. Some dragons, here we go, some dragons have lived beyond the reckoning of time. We are born from the deepest fires. Volcanoes? We are born from the deepest fires and in the muddy, bubbling, boiling waters of Earth's foundation. Volcanoes? Where's that, let me take it on. Our dragons in Yellowstone drop. Look how much drop we got, man. I mean, this is just from doing the radio daily. These links just flood into the chat room, man. What are we getting at here? Dragons in Yellowstone, right? Where's that? Dragons' lairs, right? Dragons everywhere. So he said they're formed, you know, from the foundations of the earth. And when you think about the earth and all this, you know, all this hell talk, right? So we got to get out this tartary hell talk. Like my sister Larissa says, get out the mind of a hijack. Reverse, reverse, reverse. When you think about the mother earth and the earth being one body, well, where's the heart? Maybe that's when you're getting into the Shambhala situation. It's not hell going into the heart of the body, is it? I mean, for them it is. Is it hell for you to go into the heart of the body? Is it some type of round ball with this big crust like you think you know what the earth looks like down there? You don't know shit. We don't know shit about what's within the body of the earth. We can't call it hell just because we don't know what's within the body of the earth. You know what I'm saying? These dragon kings were living in these caves and these trees. You know, when you go into the earth, you're going into the roots of the trees, into the crystal. I mean, who knows what treasure, right? So we can't just say, oh, something's beneath the earth, it must be hell. That's the Christian in us all. We have to dodge the mind of a hijack. We have to empty our cup, and we got to look at the earth body and say, well, where's the heart of the body? Remember, as above, you know what they try to say, as above, so below. But really, we dig on the kingdom being what? Within. It's within you. Where is it? Right in your heart center, right? Your heart center tunes it all up, man. All right, you got your 432 tuning up your crown. So you go within, right? The kingdom is within. You know, what's in the heart of your mama? What's in the heart? It's very interesting. So, you know, a long time ago, you know what I'm saying, I used to, you know, look into what they were talking about with the whole hollow earth thing, but that's what the whole, you know, it was hard to connect that with the ball. But once you get off the ball, you can say, okay, well, there's a flat plane or relatively, you know, and within that plane, within that earth body is what? Certainly treasure. Certainly these crystal caves lead somewhere, right? So there's a heart system. There's a body to this situation. And it's not demonic to have the wisdom, you know, to have shelter from whatever's happening on the surface. If the surface is suffering, perhaps the heartbeat is still going on. That's why your trees have never been uprooted. They're still alive. It's just that they're not surviving on the surface, but underneath they still have water. It's still beautiful down there. You know what I mean? And that, you know, I'll just drop this on you right quick now that I'm kind of leading right into it. I was going to do a whole drop on this, but I don't want to get distracted from Prester John. I don't want to get, you know, hijacked from that, man. But this is some dope drop. You check it out. Art Antarctica. Wretch Duscht. So it's the German maps. This is some secret stuff. This is some hot stuff. Alright, hold this on the low ski, because this is some hot stuff here. That's the other reason I didn't even want to draw all this attention, because this is some hot stuff. So I just want to drop it on y'all, because you're surfing the wave. Y'all didn't expect to get this, so I'm going to drop it like this. And we actually dropped a whole link on it on the website. So, yeah, I mean, everything's on the site for you, man. But, you know, this is a secret map, and it has this Asgard situation, which, according to our perspective, is either Asia or they're talking about, you know what I'm saying, America, you know. But let's see. Could they do a side by side? Man, then they got some coordinates, man. This is when it gets crazy. So diving with the coordinate exactly, cutting 68 degrees south, width, and 1 degree eastern. So they're telling you to go look up these coordinates right here. All right. Okay. You put that in, and you'll be right pretty much where they're at, navigating to what they're calling Agartha. There's a whole sea map that they floored, and that whole coordinates that they broke down. And this is from the German drop that was just translating. All right. Descent from the point of descent, half ride, a starboard slope 10 degrees with the bow, load angle of inclination 5 degrees, distance 188 north, whatever that is, preset depth 500 meters due to the corridor running. Pressure on the ship's body is less important during maneuvering. Appearance but ballast with the tail trim. Man, you think this is play? You think somebody's made up some numbers and said, hey. Drive, look, emergence, tail resistance, angle of incidence 45 degrees, always straight ahead until reaching the surface of Agartha. Distance 10 or 70, whatever knots, I think. Drive to Agartha, full speed, look ahead until the new light is settled. New light? New light? Y'all hear this? Y'all see this? This is old German shit. So they knew, where did they go? To the new light, another sun. Change of magnetic poles. Now we're getting oriented. Once you keep going straight, like Giannini said, you're in another land. You're in another world. This is the new world here, right? There's more new worlds and more new worlds, right? There's another sun. I mean, this is just right quick, man. You know, don't let it, you know. I'm gonna jam you up, man. You know, this is just the real. I got that on my other computer, but yeah, you seen all that, man. All the maps, man. I ain't gonna get, you know. That's why I didn't even wanna, you know. I'm gonna go in on this, but I can definitely do a whole drop breaking this down because it's that good. This is an actual letter from the Carl Unger, crew member of the U-209. Dear old comrade, this message will be surprise to you. The submarine. So this is the person that was navigating. All right, so he navigated to Agartha. Look straight ahead until the new light has settled. The movements of the compass needles and measuring instruments are negligible. No further instructions. See package number 3. Only open on arrival in Agartha. Here's the letter. After he got there, he said, man, we have to stay here, bro. We staying. Dear old comrade, this message will be a surprise to you. The submarine 209 has done it. The earth is hollow. So he's saying there's more underneath in the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Dr. Hoscheffer and Hess were right. The whole team is doing well. So he found safety, but she cannot return. They couldn't come back up and give him no drop. We are not prisoners. So he made it a point to say, we are not prisoners. We are just chilling and we are just fine. I'm sure this message will reach you. It's the last link with the U-209. We'll meet again, comrade. I'm anxious for those who have spent their lives on the surface of the earth since the fear has gone. God always bless our Germany. With kind regards, Carl Unger, man. Surface. So something is to do with this heartbeat, you know what I'm saying? So when you know, put the babies together, man. So you dig on it, you got the coordinates. There's another map. I think I dropped it on the site. We'll do our dismount, get some more of this Phineus drop. I just want you to make sure you got the drop, man. And again, I could have done the whole thing on this one, man. You already know I was tempted, but I want to stay focused on Press the John, man. Give us that a high, man. Let's go. Yeah, where's it at? Map drop. I'll just dig on this for a couple minutes. Much appreciation, man, to James Munder, man, who, you know, comes with some stuff here and there. Now look, you got Liberia, and Asgard. Now, I got a theory that this is upside down, you know, or at least flip-flop, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you apply our flip-flop perspective, you know what I mean? This almost seems like, you know, like we're on the right side. These seem like more like the Caribbean, you know what I mean? Because when you look at South America, there's literally land stretches that touch Antarctica. Down here is the mapping of Antarctica. All right, so it's almost like you got the new world, old world situation, but it's flipped. I believe what it seems like is that they're calling America Liberia, and Asgard would be Asia, because on top of it you have the Asan Sea or Asan Sea. So this is possibly Asia, and this is possibly maybe South America connecting to Antarctica here. Remember, Egypt is here and Africa is here, and this is the real Egypt, or Ethiopia is in America. And I believe they know that, and they're mapping out what they're calling Liberia. And down here it says Shambhala. So yeah, there could be a Shambhala around the four corners that has a portal or vortex that somehow connects to this other one here, or this is maybe a newer one that the Germans did to mimic that. But I think that they're finding a vortex that linked this area down here with the four corners, and they're calling it Shambhala. And it's so much drop of what they're calling the Volcanic Ocean. You can dig on all this stuff. Let's get a couple minutes before we get back in Phineus for the dismount, man. Much a hop to the tribe.
Alright, what's going on, you guys?
What up, man?
James from the Research Revolution. Speaking of research, look what we got here. I was doing some digging around on 4chan, and we got this Nazi paper. The hell if I know what this says. Now, let me blow it up so maybe somebody could decipher this. But look what we got going on here, kids. We got all this, right?
Yeah, something about, see, now on this side they have it on this side, you know what I mean? And then the other one, it was flipped on the other side. So you tell me, man, you leave a comment. You think this is describing America or the other side of the world in Africa? Or do you think this is describing the original so-called Africa, the original Egypt, the original Ethiopia, which is in North and South America? That is sandwiched between Atlantis and Lemuria, right? So it's hidden, it's sandwiched, it's the original Egypt, right? So yeah, man, it's interesting. It's interesting.
This is Asgard. I think this is mapping Antarctica.
See, Shambhala.
To see if you can see here, that's West Antarctica. That's the tip that comes out.
Right. West. See what he just said? West Antarctica. So take his, we're taking the classic definition of what they're calling West. And what else is in the West? This land. So this land is west of this land. That's why they flipped it this time, because the other one was the more correct one, which had it on the right side, because we're not in hell. We're on the right side, right? But this one they put on this side, just like they do all the time. They flip it back and forth. And they said this is what? West Antarctica tip. And the West Antarctica tip can only be touching South America. I wonder if we can get another. I don't want to get lost in the sauce over here, man. Let me see if I can just look at this right quick. South America. South America. Antarctica. See if we can get some type of orientation here. You know, see what I'm saying, man? You see, man? This is the tip of South America. This is Antarctica. You see how they damn near touch, right? You can tell. This is King George Island. Well, I'll be King George Island. Paradise Bay. Whoa. Whoa. I think we're cracking something here, people. I mean, I don't want to get lost in the sauce. I don't want to get lost in the smoke, man. But, you know what I mean? When you look at this again, down here, let's go back a little bit. Alright, Shambhala, right here on Western Antarctica. Alright, here's your America, or South America, possibly. I'm just surfing the web.
That's the tip that comes out.
Let's get that again.
It says Asgard. I think this is mapping.
Notice this area, because over here they're going to call it what? Come on, man. In the play. Paradise Bay. So here it's called Paradise Bay, Antarctica, King George. This is South America. I remember on the Hyborian map it said the land of no return. Now the cat just went over there and he said what? Shit, man. Where'd it go? What the dude say in his letter? But she cannot return. She cannot return. I don't have my Hyborian map, but that's cool. I'm glad I don't, because I don't want to take too long. But she cannot return. The whole team is doing well. We're not prisoners. We're fine. We're having a good time, but we cannot return. On the Hyborian war map, there's a part on South America. Once you get down this far, that says land of no return. Now you have Paradise Bay here. And on this map that's just coming up, all praise Hawa. Much appreciation to this James Munder who's dropping this drop. Where we at? He says what? Shambhala. So we have it over here, Paradise Bay. And here it's called Shambhala.
Antarctica. See if you can see here, that's West Antarctica. That's
West Antarctica. So this can't be Africa.
the tip that comes out.
America.
The reason why is because
Body bag, Daniel.
well, let me say it, okay. And then it goes right here. Something about some oceans, maybe? I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that. But there's what looks to be like Antarctica.
Yeah, man.
Okay. And then what do we have here? Look at that.
So this is their official seal. So you think they're playing you calling it Shambhala? Or calling it Paradise Bay? Alright. Okay. Let's get that drop back to Phineus, man. Get our flutes popping. Let's get our flutes popping. Calm down, people. Get that drop, click those links, you got it. Dismount season. Some dragons have lived beyond the reckoning of time. We are born from the deepest fires. We are born from the deepest fires, okay? Volcanoes, Yellowstone. And in the muddy, bubbling, boiling waters of the earth's foundation, the heart bone, I found familiar ties with my kind. That is to say, although there is much variation in dragon kind, remember we got this over 1,000 species on 7 continents in the 4 oceans. Dualdist dragons are flyers, and so I am a dualdist dragon. So he's the last flying dragon, he's saying. The last great dragon. Interesting. There have been many types of dragons in the world. The great dragons included the dualdists, of course, the Azure, dragons of the sea. So some didn't fly, some were giant sea fish. Leviathan doesn't fly, okay? Dual dweller dragons who live in the rock and in deep places of the earth. There were the woodland dragons occupying the great forest and the lush grassland and shrub tundra. There were also the lesser dragons. These included the small but agile Venturas dragons, who were rarely seen but thrived nonetheless, existing quietly in the uninhabited regions of the old world sands. Where's the old world? There were the talus dragons, who generally distributed great gems and precious metals into the earth. These talus dragons generously distributed great gems and metals into the earth. So they gave life, they gave to the mother. They were here to serve the mother, the Ha and the Wa, their framer and shaper. Fire, water, ether, land. Talus dragons generously distributed gems, great gems and precious metals into the earth. And also there were the swampers who lurked in the unpleasant, sticky, smelliest places in the world, but they were kindly and very gentle by nature. Above all, there were the emperor dragons. They were the natural leaders of all the dragons. So we got on the radio that dragons had either 3 toes, 4 toes, or 5 toes. The 5-toed dragons are the emperors. They are the kings of all the dragons. How many toes do you got? Let's go. They resided at the Council of Drakes in the Frost Caves. The Frost Caves, situated in the highest mountains in the east, overseeing the entire world and all of its inhabitants. I'll say it again. Above all, there were the emperor dragons. Now this might match up with the seraphim. They were the natural leaders of all the dragons. They resided at the Council of Drakes in the Frost Caves, situated in the highest mountains. The highest mountains, man. We're talking cloud forest. Quetzal. The Quetzal bird only exists in the cloud forest, is what the Papal was breaking down, the Quiche writings, right? So the cloud forest, Quetzal. Beautiful day. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Let's go, man. Yapa. Shabbat. From the great halls forged by time, they implemented Sinq, the 5 laws. Sinq, the 5 laws. Sinq, the 5 laws. These laws were unassuming and concise. Here they are: conviction, sacrifice, deliverance, empathy, and protection. That's how they rock. Simple. Conviction, sacrifice, deliverance, empathy, and protection. Can you rock with that, Hijack Free? Can you rock with conviction? What are you convicted in? What are you concisely convicted in? Can you rock with this Sinq? Conviction. What are you sacrificing? Deliverance. Is not deliverance your goal when you deal with salvation? For your people, for your tribe, you gather the flock. Empathy. Are you, do you have empathy towards your tribe, your brothers, your sisters, man? Can you understand we all been jammed up? So have empathy. Don't have such high, expectations in regard. Like, look, man, you gotta just have empathy sometimes and be like, look, such and such is fucked up. We all fucked up. We all fucked up, man. So have empathy on me. I have to have empathy on you. I have to understand, man. This is what we have to see past. Without empathy, how can we heal? Without empathy, expecting each other to be perfect, how can we heal without empathy? For our ancestors, for Phineus, For Phineus. For Phineus. Empathy. For Phineus. Let's get this dismount. These laws were unassuming and concise: conviction, sacrifice, deliverance, empathy, and protection. These 5 laws represent the unbreakable bonds and the ultimate commitment of all dragons, a treaties with all living creatures, the earth and the infinite sky. The earth and the infinite sky. Creator of the green earth and creator of the blue sky. Ha-Wah. We're talking the earth. Mama Earth. Where's the heartbeat of Mama Earth? Is it within? And creator of the blue sky, with my right hand I beat out the expanse of the sky. Rakia, Rakwa. Creator of the green earth. Creator of the blue sky. We're just talking about your framer and shaper. She who has born children. He who has begotten sons, creator of the earth and blue sky. Your framer refers to one who makes something by putting things together: a building from stone or adobe, a meal from various ingredients, a woven cloth from individual threads. Pito, shaper, refers to one who makes something by modeling pottery from clay. Molding pottery from clay, or a sculpture from carved stone, thus giving shape, vibration gives shape. Wah. This pair of powers was so important that soon after this invasion of the Naga by these so-called Spaniards, Father Domenico de Viso used their quiche, their root names, to refer to the power of the so-called Old Testament. So what we're digging on with our framer and shaper, with these codes, with this conviction, is the root of it all, the quiche, and that there's a separation that they even admitted by literally saying, no, okay, so the God of the Old Testament, that is the framer and shaper. Got it. The New Testament is Zeus. Jesus is Zeus. Stop rocking with that guy. Just get the babies out. Because the hijack ain't never late. Because the indigenous drop is always on time. And Irvin Reed told you that. We're just talking framer, shaper. Conviction, sacrifice, deliverance, empathy, and protection. These 5 laws represent the unbreakable bond and the ultimate commitment of all dragons, a treaties with all living creatures, the earth and the infinite sky. The earth and the infinite sky. Framer, shaper, creator of the earth, creator of the blue sky. Hawa, Hawa. Let's go. Dragons lived in peace for time immemorial. That is, until the arrival of the black robes. Here comes the hijack. Connor, the black robes, Jenny said. Connor was peering out the window trying to locate Noah. The streets were empty and he was nowhere to be seen. What does it say about them? Can you paraphrase? I think we may be running out of time. Yeah, of course, Jenny said, seeing the worry of Connor's face. It says that the black robes were the most powerful of the early human societies, and that they isolated themselves in the Barrenos Mountains, which Carvel thought was located somewhere in Eastern Europe. Or not. It says that they disappeared for 1,000 years and then re-emerged when they went to war with the dragons. So these black robes are what? Dragon slayers. Okay, black robes. They disappeared for 1,000 years and re-emerged, huh? Like sea people, huh? Then they went to war with the dragons. The dragons say that the black robes protected only their own wealth, not the earth. This eventually led to the humans fighting amongst themselves over possessions. The dragon says this is when avarice was born in the human heart. What? The dragon said? Connor asked. I'm just telling you what it says, Jenny scolded. Apparently the black robes purposely created distrust among other humans, divide and conquer, and they began turning on each other. They also invented beliefs about powers beyond their knowledge of the earth. They invented beliefs about powers beyond their knowledge of the earth. I don't know what that means exactly. I guess he means gods. They invented gods. They invented gods. This pair of gods' powers was so important that soon after the Spanish conquest, Father Domenico de Viso used their root names to refer to the power of the Old Testament, because what was coming was an invention. I guess he means God, supernatural. They invented beliefs, so they had to separate their beliefs from the what? Power of the old, the ancient love song. Your ancient love song, not your new tune. You've been tuned out of tune. We're getting back to 432. Connor was pacing between the window and the door. Any more about the black robes? It says that the dragons became myth. It says that the dragons became myth, and the black robes turned the dragons into dark magic. It says that the dragons became myth and the black robes turned the dragons into dark magic, which caused the other humans to fear the dragons because they put a spell on your dragons. And eventually, even the memory of the dragons were considered dangerous to the humans on Earth. So now you have no memory. What does that mean? Turn the dragons into dark magic, right? Right? This is all happening thousands of years ago. Apparently, yes. And I guess over time, humans forgot. Was it thousands of years ago, my people? When you're reading about dragons in the Revolutionary War, to dodge the hijack. And apparently, yes. And I guess over time, humans forgot the existence of the dragons altogether. Now it's just a myth. Now you think Drop gone crazy. Now you think Drop Nation just digging on something that's off the point? Or are we on point? Because with your dragons come your freedom. These are freedom fighters. And without you craving your wall of protection. Remember when they say the dragons breathe fire, they're not just breathing fire, they're speaking a frequency and they're saying wall or wah. Ha, wah. Apparently, yes, and I guess over time, you Nagas forgot the existence of your dragons altogether. They became fictional, just myths and fairy tales. This is where it seems that the humans took a wrong turn. Jenny said as she scrolled through the pages, it says here that the great human societies came and went, falling one by one. And then an apathy emerged, apathy towards the earth. Jenny read, quietly catching herself up with Carvel's notes and the deciphered codes of the dragon. Connor kept a watchful on the hallway, but he was growing more and more nervous. It said that before the war, before your war, there was a vastness to the old world, south into the great continent and far into the north. Humans inhabited the purity lands. You Nagas inhabited the purity lands, right? The white lands, right? The righteous lands, right? Love to teach me to be priestly, man. Peru for breaking that down. This was it the Azareth, man? You know, you're talking about just the righteous, the white. The Aztec is righteousness. This people of whiteness. Your cedars are purity, incorruptible. So you inhabited these righteous lands. You inhabited your Shambhala or Cibola or promised lands, all extending east into the mystics and to the western shores of Caldril, near the Magma Sea. Jenny stopped. I never heard of these places before, Art, have you? Nope. It says that the largest of all clans in the world were the clans of Everest. They were allied with all the earth's creatures, and they united the other clans under Pax Giard. But in the end, they were no match for the rising power of the Black Robe. So this is another perspective, a perspective of a dragon about your story. Unchallenged, the powerful Black Robes of Ageni destroyed the last of the clans of Everest and Dogger, and they disbanded the great merchants of Fen and Minu, and eventually the fishing villages on the Great Sea. Whoa. Whoa. So unchallenged, the powerful Black Robes destroyed the last of the clans of you. They disbanded the great merchants of Fen and Minu, and eventually the fishing villages on the Great Sea. Wow. I have never heard of these tribes or places, Connor. It says that the Black Robes controlled almost all of humankind, and this changed, and that this changed the human world forever. Who's rocking this Black Robes, always in black? It says that the Koba fought in a great war. He watched his kin fall in great numbers. The dragons fell. Remember the scripture says that Most High crushed the dragons and you, man. It says that he crushed you and your dragons, man. It says that Koba fought in a great war. He watched his kin fall in great numbers by the sword, by treachery, and by deceit, and the magic of the Black Robe, sorcery, necromancy, man. It says that humans turned their backs on the 5 laws and followed blindly into darkness, deceived by the words and spells conjured by the Black Robes. Do you think this is play? Humans turned their back on their law, followed blindly into darkness, deceived by words and spells. I'm confused, Connor said. Spells and magic? I thought Carver was a scientist. It says that he, that is Koba, was commanded by the emperor dragons to flee and to seek the unnamed lands, and to protect the story until Para Mora Ta. I don't know what that means. Can we know what Para Mora Ta? Is that anywhere in this Picto-Paleo that we can dig on? I don't know what that means, but I think it's Latin. Mora is a fruit, a berry, I think. No, wait, maybe black, maybe, or blackness. Jenny placed her face in her palms. Oh, should have paid more attention in class. She said, it says here that Koba eventually found refuge with the humans of the New World. So now they're calling this the New World, and that Koba found refuge with the humans of the New World. Now he's locked up, right? Koba, the dragon, Jenny responded. Kind of rolled his eyes and turned his back to the door. It says that the earth is preparing to enter Manure. Something black, right? And that the earth will no longer support the immensity of humankind. Jenny stopped reading. That sounds ominous. She muttered under her breath. It says that the earth will regenerate its health as it has done time and time again for billions and billions of years. It says that the earth will regenerate its own health as it has done time and time again for billions and billions of years. It will reshape the mountains. Is that script? And purify the oceans. Is that script? Ah, man, they cut us off. They be blocking pages, man. That's why I ordered this book. Hopefully it comes soon. Wow. This is the second of the 7 codes. So there's 5 codes. Now we got 7 codes over here popping up, man. So it gets deeper. It gets deeper when you deal on these tribes, man. Man, I wish I had this drop right here, man. They cut it off. Can't wait to get this book, man. It says that the earth will regenerate its own health. Is that what's going on right before your eyes, as it has done time and time again for billions and billions of years? It will reshape the mountains and purify the oceans. Man, sometimes when you refresh it, you know, a page might pop up that, you know, I don't know, man, let's just try, man. See, now we read those, now those are blocked. So now it blocked the ones that we just read. See that? Oh, there we go, that's the one. Never mind. One more time. God want it that bad. Still don't give it to me. Alright. So we're going to pick up on this part. You know what I mean? We're going to have to skip ahead, but that's a good spot to meditate on, man. It says that the earth will regenerate its own health as it has done time and time again. It will reshape the mountains, and purify the oceans, Ooh. Dig on these cloud forests. We're talking the Cuzco bird, We just chilling, man. Hop the Chris Battle Guardian on the wall, man. All the family, you got this job, you dig on it, man. They say, hey, man, the whole team is doing well, but she cannot return. We are not prisoners. We are not prisoners. We're chilling in the heart bone somewhere. You know what I mean? We dodged the hijack, but we know they're coming, man. We know it's a connection. The connection has already been made. Man, much ado, man. I always wanted to. I tried to get this last time, my bro, Jonathan. I ran out of time, so maybe I got a couple minutes this time, man. I was really appreciative of this bro, Jonathan. How, you know what I mean, how transparent the bro is, you know, when he drops the drop and when he digs on something like the creator's name. You know, we had a great one too, and you know, it's just a beautiful Yapa frequency. You know, the bro is truly coming, you know, to get that pure water. And again, I suggest you dig on the journey the bro's breaking down. He's giving the sisters importance of the melanated queen, man. Transparency, truth, and wisdom. I mean, let's see if we can get at least a couple minutes, man. At least a couple minutes. Much ado. Go get in that classroom, man. Shabbatah up. Shabbatah up. Shabbatah up. Let's go.
Shalom, family. This is yet again your boy, Jonathan Hebrew Prince, and I'm coming to you today on a beautiful, a lovely Shabbat morning. And time again, we'll talk about the Sabbath. We'll talk about the Shabbat, a day of rest, a day of reflection, a day to look back on your week and find out what you could have done better and how the Most High has blessed your life. How he has taken care of you throughout this week and yet again allow you to see the close of one week and going into the opening of another week. All praises be to the Most High. Wow. So I'm coming today and don't know how long I will be because I have nothing but time this morning. So with that said, I kind of want to jump right into this thing. First thing I have to give all praises be to Hawa. Wow. And if you notice, it's a little change in the name of the Most High that I'm now promulgating. That has come because I've been checked, I've been reproved, and I've been and the brother that did this came to me directly.
You see how humble the bro is, man. You know what I'm saying? It's never no checking we do it, man. It's always just that clarity, and we always gain clarity by digging on each other. I've gained so much clarity in this classroom, so the bro's being humble. And you see why I appreciate the transparency of the bro. We just digging on Hawa.
And I want to send thank you to that brother. And I'm going to just put it out there. Like I said before, I don't have any monopoly on truth. I don't have I don't have all the answers. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to tell you what I know. And if I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form, or I've been misinformed in any way, shape, or form, as I've said before, I welcome the rebuke. I welcome the reproof. So shout out to my man 432 The Drop, wow, who's been putting out a lot of information. And he came to me, he said, brother, won't you look into this regarding the name of the Most High? And I looked into it. And now, with that, I had to make a change. So the previous videos that I have made, yes, the information as far as what you see coming out the scripture or whatever other documentation that I've given is still accurate. But from now on, you will hear me say Hawa. Because there was a principle that this brother and my wife, my beautiful queen, brought to me from 2 different directions and said the same exact thing. Shout out to my wife, my queen, my beauty queen, Elisa Moon.